Okay, so we're on. So, hiya, Dean. Welcome and thanks for doing this for me. And I suppose let me just say, you've been on the course for this. We've done 5 weeks now, and I've never really met you properly. I think I said hello to you a year or so ago in at a Christmas party. Did it down in
Oh
Mullingar
yeah.
House. We had a quick hello, but other than that, I don't really know you. Other than I know you're in the fitness game, and yeah, so you came on the course, and what's your thoughts so far? How are you getting on?
So far I'm really enjoying it. Uh, I'm learning a lot. Like I used to do meditation and stuff and some chakra work mainly from stuff that Lindsay told me but this is kind of taking it to a whole new level and it's taught me a lot more, especially how it can be, how emotional issues can turn into physical problems down the line and stuff. I'm finding that part really interesting as well,
Yeah.
especially in work. Like you can see sometimes how clients are struggling with issues and then all of a sudden they're struggling in their training in a specific part of the body and stuff
Mm. Yeah, hopefully this type of training for you or this, well, I suppose in your game, let's talk about that for a minute because I come from the fitness world myself. And if I hadn't stepped in the door of a martial arts club 40 years ago, maybe it's 40 years, God, near almost 40 years. Um, I wouldn't be doing this today. Quite simply, that's it in a nutshell. And being a therapist for 30 years, I've seen the fitness people come to me, and I've seen the devastation in them almost when they have a bad injury that they can't shake off, and it's stopping them training, and it's dragging them back towards the reasons, the emotional reasons why they force themselves into training in any way. Like physical training can be an amazing outlet from stress. And really, inevitably, that's what we're talking about. Emotional issues bring big stress with them. And when we get fit and get training, it's well known that that releases endorphins, and we can get addicted to that because it's making us feel good. But all it's really doing is parking. If you went to the fitness because of emotional issues to try and clear those, all you're really doing is parking them because you're stepping into the fitness world, and it's almost like people can get addicted to it. And that emotion is still only parked. It's not being truly dealt with. Um, and the fitness game is great because what it does for people, let's use an example of a person who has an emotional issue and they're not feeling good about themselves, or they suffer with depression or anxiety, and they're comfort eating, so they're putting on weight. And eventually they shake it out and they're like, right, the thing that'll get rid of this weight is I'll go train and I'll get fit. And they get fit and they start eating well. And the body starts to shape up and they look great and feel good about themselves. But what happens when they get the injury? If they've been running from an emotional issue in any way, what happens is they go back down to where they've parked that issue. And because the injury is stopping them training, they're in trouble again. And that can happen quickly when they're training, or they can train for a number of years and get really fit and good at what they're doing, and then bang, the body breaks. It's almost like emotionally, it says enough is enough. You haven't dealt with this issue, and I'm going to drag you back. That's almost going on. And I've seen that so many times with people that I've been treating. And it's taught me so much about all that type of thing. And someone like yourself, bringing yourself to do this type of course, it's going to teach us so much about your clients in the fitness world as well. So, like, was it something like that that led you into the fitness world, or what brings you to where you are right now, and has the
that.
course helped you in any way in that aspect?
Um, yeah, you see a lot, especially everybody going hell for leather and training, but there's a lot more to it, that's why I got started as well. I was trained real young. Started when I was about 16 going to the gym, like, but I stopped then when I was like 18. And I started suffering with like anxiety and depression, self harm and suicidal thoughts and stuff like that. And really struggled with it for years. And then eventually I did like counseling and therapy and different medication and stuff. But eventually I ended up going to a personal trainer, and that seemed to be the best thing for me to help with everything, and a lot more long term. Even when I was on medication and stuff, I never liked the idea of being on it forever. Like, so I found that the gym and fitness was more a long term solution. So then I went back to college part time and studied to become a PT, so I could try to help others the way it helped me. But it's still very easy to get lost in it. Like, it's not all about the physical. That's why I try with clients to explain that's just as much about your mental health as it is getting a six pack or like
Yeah.
your physical health or just appearances. Like, but you just see it a lot. Like, everybody just tries to do as much as they can. Like, and then they end up not being able to do anything at all, and then they're right back to square one
Yeah.
and still trying to deal with the emotions that brought them there in the first place, like, or the mental health issues, like.
Yeah. And so for you personally, then, having gone through that, how long are we talking? 6, 7 years, 10 years? When, if you were to relate back to what you just said about suffering with depression and those feelings, how long are we going back? 10 years or something like that?
Um, yeah, I'd say it would have been about 10 or 11 years, maybe 12, since it all started. Like, and then I'd say the worst was just when I was like in my 20s, early 20s,
Yeah.
19 to I'd say about 22, 23 was the worst. That's when it got really bad, like, and didn't seem like there was a way out type thing.
Yeah, it was that bad.
Yeah,
Well, and there's so many people who suffer with that. I mean, hats off to you for getting through it, and like you found training or getting deep involved into the training. I mean, it sounds like it gave you a purpose in life because you became that fitness instructor. You weren't just training as such, you added
yeah.
more to it. So that's like a distraction for you, or something that makes you feel really good about yourself as you're doing it. So I suppose my question then is, as you come to a course like this, have you found as you've grown older, that there was more needed to be done? Have those feelings been revisiting, or have you been revisiting some of those feelings, or what do you think, or what led you to this, I suppose, this course?
Um, yeah, definitely found that uh, stuff would resurface, like, and that's what kind of led me down this path. Like, although it helped training in the gym, I don't think it was really fixing some of the problems. Like, it was more so just helping me forget about them a little bit.
Yeah,
So I think looking back now, fitness and the gym was kind of more so a stepping stone to this
yeah,
type of work. And like, that's what one of, I'd say, the main things I've taken out of the course so far is that even if I do revert back to old patterns of thinking, or I get stuck on emotions from the past, awareness, the fact that I'm aware of it and able to stop it, like, and not let it take over, is a big thing for me. Like, instead of getting stuck in that train of thought, I'm able to now take a few deep breaths, like, and realize that it's okay. Like, it doesn't have to control me. Like,
yeah. It's great. That's why I set it up to that. You've just what you said there is just kind of exactly the feedback I was hoping for from people, because as I host a course like this, yeah, I'm just trying to reach out to give people tools that they can help themselves with. And awareness is the big word. Being present and being aware is really, it's they're the big ones within all this. So Well done, fair play. You know, that's great. It's great that you've again. I look at you and as a I was, you know, I'm going to put these up for people to see, but we've had some young participants in this course, and I look at you as a man, and you're a young man, and it's great to have people your age on the course because what I've found over the years is work like this attracts older guys or the older generations, let's say. And it's great to see people like yourself in your 20s coming to it at this stage of life. Because if you feel it's something that's enhancing you, well then it's better to start enhancing now than waiting for another 10 years and struggle
Yeah.
through the next 10 years, you know. So yeah. So so have you found like it's really giving you stuff that you can carry forward with, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think some of the practices and things you taught us will I continue to do. Like
Yeah,
I find myself doing the breathing techniques a lot, like
yeah,
you breathe in, hold it, and then the videos with the guided meditations and stuff, I think are great, especially seeing as we can go on and watch them and follow them again throughout the week. Like,
yeah,
um, but I think there's been a lot of tools that I'll take out of it. I'd say the main thing I used to always struggle with as well, like, would be like confidence and trust, like. So I think, and just like kind of doubting myself and all.
yeah, of course.
So I think a lot of the work we did really helped me with that as well. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff from the past that still it didn't really bother me, but when we were going through certain stuff, it was coming up again. But I think I dealt with it a lot better. Like I think if I was doing this type of work a couple of years ago, like you said, I think some people end up after class or two getting a bit worried. Like I don't think I would have dealt with it as well a couple of years ago as I am now. Like especially with the stuff you've taught us. Like even now when I struggle sometimes with the anxiety, I do the breathing techniques and just remind myself to come back to the present. Like, and another the thing I struggle with a lot is thinking about the past and if things were different and stuff. I just find myself not bothering with it anymore. If I find myself having thoughts like that, I just stop. Like,
Yeah.
um, even today before I came on the video, like something like this isn't something I'd normally do. Like, feel myself getting a bit anxious, like and nervous, but I just did the breathing techniques before I logged on. Like,
Oh, well, that's perfect. You know, that's exactly, you know, the reason I asked people in the group would I do this is because I do see it. I know what it feels like to go in front of a camera. I remember when I was terrified of that. Now, and to get over that is an amazing thing, and so many people are like that. So there it is, just working for you. You know, it's
yeah,
catching those little things and allowing yourself to sit there in front of the camera. So congratulations on that because I know how big it is. You know, and I remember the days when I wouldn't even leave a message on a voice machine. And this is very similar to in front of a camera. And I can laugh at that now, but that's very real for a lot of people. It was very real for me then, as is trying to sit in front of a camera. It's a very real thing that some people will just never do, you know. Um, and it's breaking these little things that this course is about. And I'm just saying that out to the people who may be watching this, you know, that here's an example of, yeah, a very ordinary guy with very real issues. And that can be part of those issues and not having confidence to sit in front of a camera. But what else do you not have confidence in? And when it becomes important things in our life that we step back from because we don't have belief or trust in ourselves, as you said, they're the things that then start to really hold us back and create harm. And I just mean harm within us that now I'm missing out on something that may have been good for me, but I didn't have the confidence to step up. And that's why, again, I'm just saying this to yourself, but to everybody else that may be listening. That's what the course is about. So you're getting it, and that's great. Well done. Well done.
thanks.
So yeah, look, we don't need to say it all day. It's just to have a brief word about how you're getting on. Would you recommend the course to people? And yeah, it's great. you're enjoying it. That's the main thing, you know. So,
Yeah, no, I definitely recommend it. Like, um,
okay.
it's already helped me when I even finished. Like, even last week before the last class, like when I think it was the week before, you asked us to do the videos, like, and I was writing stuff down, almost like a script type of thing, like again, to say in front of the camera, like. And I was sitting there, and it was only halfway through the course, like, and it just dawned on me how much it's already helping, like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to share. Okay, well, I mean, if you have anything else you'd like to say to the world or about it, yeah, walk away. But otherwise, I think we've said enough as regards just getting the word out there. That's all I really want to do with this. You know, just let people know there's something available that can possibly help with these struggles that like you've had in the past. You know, it's
Yeah,
all stepping stones, and just to allowing yourself to feel better about who you are. You know, so yeah. So well done, and thanks for joining. Thanks for coming on the course, and then hopefully, well, I will see you for the next few weeks, and then after that, hopefully, we'll see each other on
yeah, a
some.
bit of luck.
Okay. Okay. Well, look, we'll leave it at that, and thanks again for doing this for me today. It's
No problem. It was a pleasure.
okay. Right. Let me just